Sagittarius, are you ready for your epic glow up? The sun is in your sixth house, and you guys are, I would say, kindling the fire of whatever it is that you are building with this sun conjunct Uranus event happening next week. So we have a new moon this week happening in your sixth house. So like your day-to-day life has to be evolving, or it has to be branching out. So whether that means you get some new clients, like you go on a date with someone who isn't in your immediate group of friends, like suggestions, maybe you find them through, you go to like a bookstore, or you casually meet, or you're introduced in some way, shape, or form that isn't in the direct context of like a romantic environment. Maybe this is happening for you with a mentor or some kind of interest that you have been building on for a while, because we can really find the secret to our future in our daily habits. So with the moon at 0 degrees, it's opening up, I think, the feeling landscape of how you really feel day to day, and what this is doing for your sense of spirituality. In the opposite house of Taurus is Scorpio, and that has been the ruling planet of Scorpio. Pluto has been in Aquarius, which is your third house. So essentially you're getting a chance to communicate maybe more ideas that come from the vault, some things that you would normally say. Yeah, there's a lot of momentum around whatever it is that you're working on right now. And with the moon emotionally like going over this in waves, it's almost like you have to hold on to your hat. You have to really be in a place of balance with yourself because of all of the change. You don't want to lose sight of what your reflections are saying to you, because things are moving pretty quickly for Sagittariuses. So on Monday, you'll have a lot of spiritual direction emerge, especially with the moon. I'm at the end of the day. Let's go back a couple hours. With the moon starting in Aries, so it's going to start in your fifth house, which means that you're hearing back from people who you've been wanting to be in touch with, and as long as you have that original vision and you're seeing blooms coming from where you would like for things to go, maybe it's not all how you had planned it. Things rarely are. But as long as there's some remnants of growth in the direction that you've been aiming for, I would say allow for those to be what you devote your focus on, and expect for those things to rapidly grow and expand. Monday might feel like a very good day to get a reading, or to have, some sort of romantic spiritual engagement, as your sixth house is ruled by Venus. It's Taurus, so you want to have something that is a nod to the life that you want to live. It feels like what you've been doing so far for a while hasn't been cutting it, and the depths that you're being asked to express, to communicate with others with Pluto in your third house, is asking for you to make sure that your day-to-day has some space for ritual, some space for like a quiet coffee, matcha, tea, and tarot card. Add that to your day and watch that you maintain that vision, maintain your authentic, sincere voice, because something that was going on was really restrictive with your energy. You weren't able to really express and come out of your a sense of like competition. It's like you weren't really authentically able to represent what it was that was really maybe emotionally potent for you and fun. And we're expected, I know that you guys are considered like the flightier fire sign, but we're expected to want to journey and to expand. And who, if not you, Sagittarius? So on Mars Day, we have Mars hitting 21 degrees Aries, and that is, I would say, fanning, like the breeze is really moving things around. We're having some movement because that degree is pastel flags fluttering in the breeze of inside degrees. So we might sense with Mars happening in your fifth house that some things might get a little volatile, or they might get really like expansive. Maybe what you're learning, you really have to go down a rabbit hole or two, to make sure that you can untether yourself from maybe expectations others were holding you to. And that happens. If we share what we're growing too soon, we can attract people who are like this, who, make us answer all these questions. And we want to be able to yes and our reality. That's like the magic. That's the real magic, is being able to see what is and adding your own flair, your own spin to it. On Mercury Day, Mercury's going to aspect, we're still on Mars Day. Excuse me, Mercury Day. We have a bit of validity and validation, because the truth of what it is that you feel is deeply resonant, Sagittarius. People can tell when you're on, when you're passionate, when you're really feeling it. And because Pluto's retrograded in your communication house, your thoughts will really kind of lead you back to where your heart is pointing, maybe more clearly than it has in quite some time, because Pluto retrograded at 2 degrees. So you can really feel into what you're thinking and into what you're saying, into what you're building. And we just have to remember to keep sitting on those eggs, just like chickens are patient, and the things that we're evolving may not be at their most bloomed, fertile stage, but with persistence, we're going to get there. Yeah, we have to get still and go within with those things that we're nurturing and bringing to life. So maybe you want to be able to show and tell, and it's not really the time. That doesn't mean that next week can't be the time. It means that you have to get to the bottom of something. There's some kind of investigation that you're going to really be rewarded for. You're going to feel like more confidence. You're going to more easily spot the people in the room who are doing the same mirroring as you, that are having the similar reflections as you are. If you're just showing up in your day-to-day life, making sure that you dot your I's, cross your T's, you have the resistance persists. So if you have like a bunch of laundry to do and you are stuck with writing your book, go fold some laundry. That's usually what I do in my mornings. If I can't move past something, then I'm like, okay, well, what else am I not moving past? So there are things that we can automate. So if you take your laundry to the laundromat, maybe you need to go do that and reorganize your closet. Some mundane tasks that can allow for the spiritual breakthroughs to come in, because when you're in that quiet meditation, you might find that you end up doing those things naturally before you can slow down. Before you can slow the thoughts, on this Mercury Day, you're going to have to sit with yourself, because we don't want to be caught in analysis paralysis, overthinking. We just want to take the first action, shoot from the hip. I give you permission. Sagittarius, aim from the hip with your amazing bow and arrows. See what you get. On Jupiter Day, this is your ruling sign, your ruling planet in the 6th house. So you'll see a lot of positive feedback. It might be overwhelming. It might be really fast moving, but you're also going to see a lot of people who resonate with you, who you've been resonating with, and who maybe were like watching from the sidelines from a while, but they're starting to feel activated. They're really starting to be able to express themselves. And as Mercury's coming out of shadow, we still don't want to pick up any broken pieces that left us feeling like, the people who claim to be for us were not. Yeah, we got to defend our rights. Sagittarius, stand up for yourself. Don't be afraid. The thoughts are actually only a reflection of what your imagination was doing. So we need to, triple down on that. On Jupiter Day, the building conjunction is going to show us what decisions don't work anymore, what decisions we have to honor, the commitments and contracts that we have to get even more clear and refined on before we finalize, because I think that what we're moving forward from now is really calling for authenticity, and that's going to ring the loudest, that's going to sell the best, it's going to end up affecting people more deeply. So check your intentions, check your reasons for doing things. And with Saturn in your 4th house, it's calling for you to really build reliable networks, reliable friends, because we're starting a new journey. We need to protect ourselves and shield our energy from people who would trigger us, people who take us off our spiritual path. We don't have time for that anymore. We don't have time to argue. We are rising above. All right? So Prioritize your peace, prioritize your meditation, Sag, and you will see it be beneficial in these decisions you're having to make. So your thoughts might be going a little crazy come Venus Day. You might be having a lot of breakthroughs in your tasks, which could have you like running forward with all of these forward ideas because of things really taking off. So bite-sized steps, micro wins, make sure that you're doing things that give you quick feedback, things that you can see like within 24 hours, what has worked, what hasn't, and let that steer your course. One exercise I'm doing is kind of like exhausting myself with astrology, so I have to be constantly present with what I'm experiencing, because otherwise it's like, if I'm stuck in a loop repeating things, I'm going to activate that so much that it's going to be like undeniable, indivisible. It's something that, release it, because it's going to be something that is undeniable and not worthy of this commitment that we're making, this commitment to our daily lives, to our systems, to our long-term vision coming to fruition based on the small steps we're taking forward each day. So things are going to crack. They will crack if they were not meant to move on to this next round. Don't stop to fix them. Really don't, because we are clearing broken bonds in our connections, and for you in the 10th house in your professional settings, and we're needing to hold close those connections that really nurture our inner child and encourage us to do so. Release everything else, because it's only going to hold you back from this forward push from the universe that you're getting. Saturn day, my Sagittarius. Saturn is in your 4th house. So again, I think your commitments are going to be tested. Anytime that we say, God, grant me peace, we're given a lot of trials to bring us to a state of neutralizing those things and being at peace. And again, it's that saying of know what you can control, and grant me the wisdom to know what I can control and what I can't. Let me surrender, something like that. And you might have a sense of like tirelessness around being stuck, analysis paralysis, but really it's always just circulating back to the heart. What makes you feel the most excited? How can you bring that into your feeling space? How can you live what you're already seeking to attain? So we're being asked to kind of go deep, to investigate, because we'll have a lot of clarity on where we're going, who's coming with us, and it'll be obvious what's out of alignment, what's out of integrity. And basically, we have to separate the wheat from the tares. We need to know what's worth all of this investment. One of my favorite sayings from Chris Reck of Minnow Pond Tarot is the juice worth a squeeze? So let's tap. I'm clear on my vision. I'm clear on how I want to live my life. I'm clear on who and what environments nurture me. My intuition speaks loudly to my conscious mind. I receive downloads from doing the mundane tasks that bring me joy. I'm clear on my investments, and I'm clear on my circle. I'm clear on what needs to get done and who I can ask for help. I am aligned to my intuition. Ooh, I get literal sinus pressure whenever it's time to tap, so let's tap again. I'm clear on my compass, my true north. My true north guides me. I surrender with grace everything that blocks or inhibits my natural expression. I choose to express myself authentically. I make the time for my interests. I no longer scapegoat others. I am true to my investments. Ugh. Don't let others be a scapegoat for you, Sag. You gotta find the time and make the time and set out 15-minute steps each day with the same task, because if we show up for ourselves the same way that we did the day before, we're improving at least 1% every day. So with Mars in your Fifth house, you're going to have a lot of revved up energy. So don't spin your tires over nothing. Don't be investing into the situations that drain you, because they will actively drain you, and then you'll have burnout. Keep flowing. Keep watching what's for you. Keep watching that thing that you want to see grow. Keep nurturing it, okay? And that's going to be what you have to decide for comes Saturn Day on Saturday. Sunday, the sun is at 22 degrees Taurus, building the sun conjunct Uranus event, and it's in conjunction to Jupiter, your natal planet, your ruling planet, and this is all happening for you in your day-to-day life. So please be sure to share what's going on, how it's affecting your career. I want to know. We're going to see a lot of your, emotions rise to the surface, and that's going to be something that you want to be sure to record, document in some way, because it's interesting. People want to see Sagittarius's triumph. We love it. We love to see you all excel. We know that you guys can be tricksters, and we love to see you guys still rising above and showing up, because you all are the leaders. You all are the voice of the times, and the more Sagittariuses we have aligned to their intuition, channeling truth, the less I think there is room for that delusion, and then questioning and unraveling all the work that we're doing, because it's really showing up, and we're getting the sprouts, we're getting the blossoms of what it is that we want. So sun at 22 degrees Taurus, that is a blindfolded woman who sees the future. So just know everything is unwritten. Whether or not you believe in free will, destiny, how to activate it, I believe is just what lights your heart up the most, and living that in the now. So what would you do as ... You're thinking about having a chicken farm. What would you do as a chicken farmer at 4 a.m? Because they're going to start making noise, and you're going to have to start your day. If you want to live life remote working on the beach, how can you make your Sunday now that exact flow that you would have? How can you add it in just so that you can trick your brain into feeling that amplification now, that reality now? Because the more we savor it, the more it's going to actually permeate our existence. The more that we can really feel the breeze of the tropics before we get here, the easier things will come together. I see this as a coming together. You might have someone who is definitely not willing to go with you on this journey, but that's okay. You have to trust that with Venus at 16 degrees, that people are going to show their true colors, and there's nothing that you need to do. If you're in a codependent situation, you have to let it go, because you're holding on to something that's only going to keep you back from this next amazing, enriching chapter of your life. Sagittarius, have an amazing week. Please keep me posted. I'm really curious to see what happens for you guys this week. Aloha.